Hello, dear friends. This is Kira Rudik, member of Ukrainian parliament and leader of the political party Holos. I'm speaking from Kiev, Ukraine. Today we will talk about President Zelensky's open letter to dictator Putin and his answer, and of course about Ukraine Support Act that was passed by US Congress and what it means for Ukraine and for geopolitics at all. But before we start, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment. I read them, I reply to them. It is very important for me to hear from you, my dear audience. So, let's start. You know that I'm in opposition to President Zelensky, and I do not support all of his decisions. But I think we all should agree that writing an open letter to Putin with what he has written is a pretty badass move, and I truly support it. Why it is important is that there are so many people who are not following the war in Ukraine anymore. People who have very short span of attention and sometimes even ask if the war is still going on. Well, this letter is a short answer to all the questions that may arise. That Ukraine is willing to end the war and we are ready for peace. That Russia has started the war and Russia is an aggressor. That Russia is not doing so well as they're saying in the war, and there are so many Russians dying. That Putin can keep terrorizing us, but we will not give up. That we have support of our partners, and we are ready to talk, we are ready to discuss ceasefire immediately, and that Putin should be thinking about what is the main reason why he started the war and if it's time to finish it. Obviously, President Zelensky made some hits on Putin's age, his ability to rule, and potential problems with Russian nation and with Russian soldiers. If you haven't read this letter, I strongly suggest you would, because I think this is something that will go down in history as a true attempt to go ahead and dismiss so many points of propaganda, especially the fact that Ukraine is standing on the way of peace, something that President Trump seems to be sometimes unsure of. We have seen that most of the world leaders have read it, and Putin replied to that at his event at St. Petersburg that has been recently attacked by Ukrainian drones. And he said that there is nothing to talk about, and that basically what we have observed is that the only thing that he was concerned of is not the death of Russian people, of Russian soldiers, but rather the hit on his age that he was trying to give some feedback on. Well, right now, again, we are able to prove by fact that the keys to end the war are not in Ukraine, they are in Russia. That Russia is not ready to negotiate. We have actually proven it by showing the world the recent attacks on civilian infrastructure and on residential areas of Ukraine, but Putin has confirmed it yet again. It is very important because it contradicts to so many propagandist statements that Putin is again trying to spread not only in Europe, not only in Russia, but in the United States as well. We have seen many questionable bloggers coming to Russia, obviously by the invitation of Russia's leadership, and they would definitely be spreading the word that Russia is not so bad, Russia is beautiful, Christian, all those things. Well, they may be true, but the truth is Russia is an aggressor. Russia has started the war, and it's in their hands to finish it. Putin did not do it by himself. He still has the support of Russian people, of Russian soldiers. And so it is naive to think that he would come to a negotiating table just because somebody would tell him to. He would not. The only language that they understand is the language of force, the language of strength. This is what we have been proving for the last almost 13 years since they have first attacked us. So the only way to help Ukraine to end the war is to support us with the military assistance, to support us with the air defense ammunition, to support us with the sanctions that would actually work, and of course, financially, And this is exactly what we have seen in the Ukraine Support Act that has been passed by Congress this week. Why this is critical? So we have seen that Ukraine was not on the top of agenda of both US Congress, President Trump, for a while. And it has been a huge amount of work by Ukrainian advocacy campaigners, by Ukrainians in the United States, by so many people in the United States who are pushing their congressmen and women to do the right thing. If you are watching from the United States and you are helping out to pressure your congressmen and women to do the right thing, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If your representative has supported Ukraine Support Act, please call them and say thank you. Because right now this is a sign that an overwhelming majority of Americans support Ukraine and want their representatives to do the right thing. We know that for the bill to pass Senate would be much harder because Republicans in Senate say that they will be waiting for the position of President Trump. We know that this position is hardly pro-Ukrainian right now, but we hope that with the support of good people, we will be able at least to get closer. So what's in the act? So it's adding additional sanctions on Russia. It's adding military support to up to $3 billion for Ukraine, and of course additional financial support to different programs for the rebuild and financial assistance. It is critical that there is this 500% additional tariffs on Russian products. This is something, again, that President Trump himself promised when he came to the office, and he said that if Russia wouldn't agree to the peace, he would tariff them and give Ukraine tomahawks. We see that this didn't happen, so at least Congress men and women, brave men and women, trying to keep this promise by the American people. This is crucial for us because this is showing yet again sign for European countries that there is a strong position in the United States. And even if the president might not be supporting that, it kicks in onto many additional projects and developments that are happening in Europe right now. Do we want it or not? Europe is always watching at what are the United States doing, and they are always looking at their peers and colleagues. So right now we have yet again one more strong argument to pressure NATO to go ahead with the different programs of supplying Ukraine with different sort of weapons and supplies. We are really, really grateful here, and I can tell you for a long time, no matter what President Trump says now, I will be telling Ukrainian people, look, this is a position of American president, but representatives of American people, together, Democrats and Republicans, even the ones who said that they will never support Ukraine, have gone ahead and voted in the Congress. And this is what matters, because it really shows that American people remember about us and support us and want us to win the war, to end the war from the point of strength. From that being said, thank you so much again, and glory to Ukraine.